You're listening to a Destiny Park Media podcast.
Welcome everybody to the Don to Don podcast. This has become the Don to Don podcast. I'm sorry to tell you, I changed the name, logo.
Fine. That's fine. Well, we mispronounced Okarun the entire episode that we talked about. Don
Did we?
Don. Yeah. I started it confidently. I was like, I believe his name is Okarun.
Very American of you.
Yeah, and for an hour and a half, it's just these two dorks mispronouncing. We may have never even seen the show, according to the listeners.
What are they rambling about this?
Some sort of octopus man?
Octoroon. Yeah.
Octoroon. I think it's called Naruto. Actually.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were watching, and we were talking about
Oh, man. Believe it.
No, I think, welcome to the show, guys. Akira Slide Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Jallah. With me is...
Thank you for that introduction, Mike. Mm-hmm. I'll take it from here. I'm Michael D. Rowland.
Yes, indeed. We have a fun show for you, everybody. I think there's been a lot going on. I think that's the topics that we have for today are going to touch not only on some current things that are going on right now, but also some things that we have recently watched coming out of 2024. And we have some thoughts about them. So... Get your popcorn.
Because we're going to the movies.
Yeah, let's hit the movies theater.
And this is a segment that I came up with while Jallah was in the bathroom. That's not a joke. It's real. The segment is called Flop or Flip. And it's going to be a segment where Jallah and I talk about movies that we watched. And
you got to guess.
You have to guess. No, how about you have to guess?
Yes.
Pointing to Jallah. You have to guess whether I like the movie or not based on how I describe it to you.
Beautiful.
And then I'll do the same for your movie.
Okay, let's do that.
I feel like this is fun, actually.
Yeah, it is. This is fun.
Me every time we record together.
Because this is a surprise, for one, because we both knew that we both went and watched these movies, but we don't know what we feel about them because we never mentioned.
They're both perfect because it could go either way. That's true for every movie, but these ones, I've said some divisive, hurtful things about both movies.
Yes.
And so you don't know where I'm going to go with either of these movies.
I don't.
Or at least... I don't know where you're going to go with the movie you're going to talk about.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'll stop teasing and just say I saw Sonic 3.
Woo!
This is Sonic the Hedgehog, that is.
Yes.
3.
A reoccurring man.
Starring James Carey.
James. Oh, you know what?
James Marsden. It's just a bunch of Jameses.
Speaking of James Carey, he actually went by James early in his career when he was on In Living Color.
Oh.
Yeah, his name used to show up as James Carey.
Call me James.
Yeah.
So, then starring a bunch of other people. Oh, Keanu Reeves.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Idris Elba.
Yep. Love Idris.
Colleen, Tails' voice actress.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is for those of you who aren't Akira Slide super fans, which that's none of you. I've been very skeptical about Sonic 3.
Yes.
I watched the trailers, and the first trailer was pretty decent. The second one was like the worst trailer I've ever seen.
Really bad.
Even Jallah, who is Mr. Patience and Mr. Let's let them cook. Let's see what they're doing.
Let them cook.
Hold on, this guy's a funny guy.
Yeah.
And then when Shadow came on screen, Jallah was like, "Oh, this guy's a funny, scary guy."
Yeah, scary black.
Yeah, he's black. Scary black. You said it. Not
I know, I did. That's why I'm laughing at myself. I'm like,
just make sure the AI captured that you said that. The AI transcription.
Speaker 1.
Speaker 2, 3, 4. So I finally saw it, though. I saw one clip that made me want to watch it. And
it just shows after the trailers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was actually not going to watch it for a while. You and I were planning on seeing it together.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't wait because I saw a clip online where Sonic says a reference to one of my favorite lines of his ever from Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh, okay.
And so it just shows how nostalgia is poison.
Okay.
Because, a movie I wasn't even interested in, and I said, this doesn't look good.
Mm-hmm.
There's a clip online where Sonic says, no food or movies. Talk about low budget flights. We're out of here. And
he said it.
He said it. And Sonic Adventure
crazy.
2, that's his opening line. And I honestly, it's so silly, but I realized I love that line. Like, I think it's perfect Sonic writing. Like,
am I wrong that you mentioned that line previously?
I feel like I did.
Yeah, like
that's a cool
literally
line.
that line.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So I love that line, and the fact that he said it and Ben Schwartz delivered it like perfectly, where it didn't feel like it was like him just quoting the game, but it was like good attitude. And anyway, so I was like, shit, now I gotta see it. And like, I'm watching myself as if I'm a character in a TV show, and I'm like shaking my head like, oh, Michael, god damn it.
Couldn't go with this movie.
So I my friend Ian hosted me at his lovely abode.
Nice.
With his lovely partner, Jamie.
Nice.
And it was a lovely time.
So you get a home seat view. Beautiful.
And I was not like an MST3K guy where I was commenting the entire movie, but I was commenting too much, and I do apologize to them both.
Deep cut.
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah.
So the film is about two hedgehogs, one black, one blue. And the film actually starts out being about Shadow.
Oh, okay.
And so it opens on his story. And it's almost like the movie's really more about him than Sonic.
Right, sure.
And for those of you who don't know, Shadow has sort of a darker past where he has one friend in the world who dies in tragic circumstances. That's not a spoiler. Shadow's been a character for decades.
Yeah.
But there will be spoilers about these movies. If you want to see these movies without spoilers, you can stop listening. We'll put time codes in the descriptor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Descriptione.
Yeah.
So, Shadow is getting used to having Tails and Knuckles as kind of makeshift siblings, if you will. And he's basically learning how to live on Earth. And they find out that there's an attack going on in Tokyo, and Sonic and Co. have to find this, they say it could be either Hello Kitty or Godzilla.
Oh, really?
And so then I did the Leonardo DiCaprio point and said I love Godzilla.
Shout out Godzilla.
And from there, they have to team up with Robotnik / Eggman. Do you think that I liked the movie or not?
So far, it sounds good. Sounding promising.
Okay, I'll tell you more about it. I'll tell you more about it, and then you'll have your final guess.
There you go. I'm on the thumbs up side at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Take a turn. This is where it takes a turn.
I'm not trying to lead. That's the thing. I'm trying to tell you a little bit more about the movie, I guess.
Yeah, so they're going to Tokyo.
They're going to... the scene is honestly very brief, but Sonic and Shadow have an altercation. And they do have to team up with Eggman, and they go on this little mission to find who's using Eggman's tech, and it is revealed that Eggman's grandfather, Gerald Robotnik,
Gerald?
Yeah, he is the one who's... Because they saw that there was these robots that were attacking Tokyo as well.
Sure.
And they're like, Eggman's behind this, and he's like, no, I'm not. Or Eggman's assistant comes in and says, the doctor is not behind this.
Interesting. Okay.
Come with me. And once Eggman meets his Robotnik, Eggman meets his Robotnik, or grandfather, as you would call it.
Yes, Mr. Grand.
Then they work together, and a bunch of stuff happens, and but ultimately, the movie's about two people who have suffered immense loss, Sonic and Shadow, and they have two different philosophies, but Sonic at one point does get pushed to want to get vengeance against Shadow.
Interesting.
And So anyway,
I have a question for you then.
Yeah.
No Supersonic?
Spoilers. Yes, there is Supersonic and Super Shadow as well.
I don't know if I've seen Super Shadow before. Is that real? Is that he's been captured before? Okay.
Yeah, it's in Sonic Adventure 2.
Okay, nice. Second question. Epic battle with the super versions of each other, or no? I guess not epic battle. Was there a battle between Supersonic versus
Yeah, I would say there was, and I would say it's very brief, and the battle's really not what's important. It's more about the emotion of the scene.
Oh, okay.
Rather than, like, it being the centerpiece of the movie action-wise.
Right, it's not Dragon Ball Z.
It's not... Well, it actually is very Dragon Ball Z inspired, but it's just so short.
Okay,
and,
that's unfortunate.
But here's the thing. It's not about...
that.
It's not about the action in that moment. There are moments where there is pretty good action, honestly.
Okay.
But this is more about the emotion of the scene, because Sonic is... He's pissed. He's genuinely pissed. It's refreshing to see him actually, like, taking something serious.
Okay.
So
and
I'll give the movie points for that.
Okay, that's good. Mm. So then my third...
It's a good scene.
That's good.
I know that I said it's brief, but
it is good.
It's not like a popcorn scene. It's this is actually kind of good.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I guess my third and last question. Less human interactions with Sonic in this one? Meaning, like... I remember the first Sonic movie. He was like living with that guy.
No, there's not less. I mean, okay. Let me rephrase that. There's less human interactions, but the film still takes place in that sort of environment where Sonic lives with James, or rather Donut Lord. And Tom is his character's name, but I'll call him Donut Lord. So he lives there, and then also they call Knuckles and Tails like his brothers.
Interesting.
And it sucks. I hate that. Like, they're not brothers, they're friends. So
yeah.
It's okay. They can, and they're raising them as if they're family, which I don't like that.
Okay, it turns into like this, like...
So there is less in the ratios, but the film will always... Unfortunately, this series has cemented it as taking place on Earth.
Yep. Having
Sonic be a kid who's raised by human parents.
Sure.
It's lame. It's lame as shit.
Yeah.
And, but anyway.
Okay.
I'm giving too much. So anyway.
Okay, I think I've landed on my final answer.
Okay.
Is it flip or flop? I'm going flop.
I actually think it's a flop, yeah.
I knew it.
I think it's a bad movie.
I
knew it. But I
you did a good job at the intro of like trying to make it sound, it's like, it's got some pieces.
I'm not going to lie about it. Like, I'm not going to pretend there's nothing good.
Thank you.
I went in completely open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to enjoy it.
Sure.
There's like 3 really good scenes in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I really just don't get into a lot of it. I would say that.
Got it.
The tone for this thing is a complete disaster. It's these are movies for babies, and
he sticks by it.
I stand by it 100%. Yeah, no, seriously. Like, and it's obviously it's like meant to be a little bit like getting people kind of cranky. I'm like poking the bear a bit.
That's funny. It's funny,
but like. So do I actually think it's like Coco Melon? No, it's not like Coco Melon, okay? These are family movies.
Thank you, yes.
But if you're a little baby or a little kid, then you're going to have a great time with this movie, Sonic 2, Sonic 1.
Yep.
And it's okay that I don't enjoy them.
Yeah, that's fine. That's completely fine.
But I do think you can make good movies for little kids.
Yeah.
And this is not a good movie for little kids.
Just unfortunate.
But there's stuff with Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
That is actually genuinely, like, heartwarming.
Okay.
The lesson of the film is that revenge it doesn't do any good,
right.
Which is a classic storytelling thing that I'm a sucker for. And there's just little moments here and there that are kind of decent and kind of cool.
Right, okay.
And it could have been good.
They dropped the ball is what it sounds like.
I just don't. I don't.
Did they ever have the ball?
They never had it. No, and so I think the thing that makes me really confused and sad about seeing Sonic discussion online is how much fans will accept if you cater to their nostalgia, and to their desires.
Sure.
So, do you know the song? You don't know the song "Live and Learn" from Sonic Adventure 2, do you?
I don't think so. At least not by name.
So Shadow and Sonic, they team up together, and you don't care about spoilers. You've established that.
No, absolutely not.
Everyone who's like hand-wringing and getting upset on your behalf can stop.
Why are you rooting for him?
They do team up, and it's genuinely a really well-done action scene where they're going into space to like destroy all these things that are going to destroy the Earth.
Sure.
Well-done scene. And there's a song from Sonic Adventure 2 called Live and Learn.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful piece of rock music.
Nice.
The main theme of the game. And it's also just a really fantastic lyrical message that would work with the film.
Okay.
So they play a riff from that song and play like two lines of a verse, 2 lines of the chorus actually.
Sure.
But they've like remixed it and you can hear the riff and it's like, that's cool that they referenced it. But like it cuts away after 10 to 15 seconds of Shadow and Sonic being cool to Gerald Robotnik spanking
Oh my God.
Eggman.
Yeah.
So it's the one moment where it's like, oh wow, there's payoff. This is like both fan service, but also it works with the theme of the movie.
Right.
This is like a genuinely good scene.
Right.
And you get like a tonal shift where it's Jim Carrey spanking himself. There's an extended like 2-3 minute dance sequence with Jim Carrey as the old man and as Eggman. Because they say, oh, we're wearing this laser repellent suit. They're trying to go into a vault for some shit I don't care about. And so they say you could walk through there. In fact, you could even dance through there. And apparently it was Jim Carrey's idea. And Jim Carrey gets a lot of props for this movie for the fact that he played 2 characters. It is impressive. Sure. It is impressive technically and all that. But his line delivery, I feel like I'm going crazy because like he will say stuff that sounds like the character is self-aware, but then he sounds like he's being sarcastic, so it's like he's not aware. Like, when they're in a scary house together, he goes, I know, we should split up. You go over here, you go over here. And it's...
Sounding sarcastic.
And then it's actually his actual idea, and he wants to do it. And so every line he delivers sounds sarcastic.
Right.
And it takes me out of the movie. But at the same time, there are funny jokes with Eggman, and Jim Carrey does deliver those well, but it's a bad take. I don't like how he portrays Eggman. Here's what is going to get people to really hate me. I'm loving this, by the way.
It's good. It's good.
I don't like Keanu Reeves as Shadow.
Okay.
His voice is extremely deep, gravelly, and I don't get into his portrayal. I think that he is an actor that is good in some things. Yes. And not good in other things.
Yes, Keanu Reeves definitely is that. If you're honest about Keanu Reeves.
And by the way, seems like a great guy.
Oh, super great.
The fact that I have to say that because of Reddit is annoying.
No, but Keanu's dope. I've seen him do things. I've seen him speak about certain things. He's, as a man, at least as far as we know.
Yeah, because we don't know him.
Yeah, we don't know him, but...
Seems like a nice guy.
Definitely.
And he has been good in some movies.
Yes.
And he's been pretty bad in other movies.
Right. And he knows that.
Yeah, and he knows that. And we all know that, but we give him a pass because he's a good guy.
Yeah, because he's cool. Yeah.
But no, I don't like his portrayal of Shadow for the most part. I am okay with things being different from the source material. Knuckles is completely different from the games. Absolutely. And I think Idris does a great job with him. Right. But... yeah, I don't know, man. So I didn't like the movie. But I will say that just like Sonic 2, there was 1 or 2 scenes. I think I said 2 or 3 before. Sure. There were a few scenes where I'm like, oh, that was well done. And I can tip my hat to them and go, there are talented people who did good stuff on this movie. Right, for sure. Yeah. So overall, did I hate watching it? No, it wasn't like I was hating it. Sure. But it's just not good. That's all. Yeah, it didn't cross the finish line. Okay. So
that's a flop on the board.
So let's keep score of this. Yep. Flop or flip. And we'll see if we are negative people or positive people.
I mean, it's really what we ingested. Is it negative or is it positive? I guess for our taste.
For our taste, because it's subjective.
Yeah. This is like food, basically.
Just goes, yes. I love food. I do love food, though.
Absolutely. So, my movie that I recently watched was kind of a movie... It came out last year, I'm pretty sure.
That's correct.
Yeah. And... this movie got so much talk. Like a ton of talk. The movie I'm talking about is called Longlegs. Yeah, exactly. Like
that was I used my fingers and made them spider legs.
Yeah, spider legs. Sorry, very long legs. Sorry. No, I just so the movie's been talked about a lot of hype, or at least a lot of conversation. Let me not say hype, a lot of conversation. it's definitely in my wheelhouse as far as horror thriller, I guess, movie is concerned. So I was curious about it. Mike actually did see this movie. He had some words for it. They didn't lean positively, but I wasn't going in from a negative view. I was still wanted to just watch. My headspace generally is, if I don't know what it is or haven't seen it, I'm usually always going in very curious. Like, I want to be surprised.
Yeah.
Tickled, whatever. Like, I'm very, I'm very open to, like, whatever the experience they're going to try to deliver is. So I rented it. I watched it here at home because it had already been through the theaters. People had talked about it. This movie stars, I believe, it's, why am I blanking on his name now?
Oh, that's so funny. I was going to mention Nicolas Cage.
Thank you.
As an actor similar to Keanu Reeves. He's amazing in some stuff.
Right. But he's not hitting it out the park with every role.
Right.
Especially some of his more recent stuff that I think he's done. I can't comment on everything that Nicolas Cage has done recently, because I think a lot of it, the stuff that he has been doing, has been getting thumbs up. So
yeah,
I'm a little bit of a novice when it comes to his catalog, I would say. So I always still kind of come into watching his stuff just waiting to see, like, if he surprises or not. And yeah, so anyway, I read this movie at home, so I'm watching it at home, and I watched the movie too late into the night, and I saw the intro of it, and the intro actually perked, like, I perked up at it. So the intro basically is like a scene where, well, a few things happened, but the section that I perked up at was this lady's investigating this house for this killer, I believe. They're looking for this killer.
That's right. And
she busts into the house, and immediately somebody gets, like, shot in the head.
Her partner,
like, immediately. It was like, boom, like, right when the movie starts, like, pop! I was like, yo, that was crazy. Because it was like, I wasn't expecting that. That energy, like, just kind of came out of nowhere. And sure. I like when things kind of, like, they want to get to business. I'm like, okay, let's get to business. So I thought that was dope. So I was perked up at that. I think I watched the movie too late, and I ended up falling asleep, like, at the beginning, like, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, fine. So then I attempted to watch it again. And I believe I think I might have started it back a little bit. Attempted to watch it again. And I fell asleep again. Like another 30 minutes to 40 minutes more of it.
All right.
So, but I had eaten a big meal.
The director of this movie is listening right now, and he's just holding out for hope, you know.
Yeah, I had eaten a big meal, though. So
yeah, it's not you.
I blamed it. It was really on me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm like, I gotta stop sabotaging myself with this movie.
Yeah, it's not the movie's fault.
No, I'm like, I cannot eat and then watch this movie.
Yeah. Nobody eats before they watch a movie. All right, sorry. This is your segment.
No, this is good. So I'm like, all right. Oh God. Okay. So I'm like, I'm gonna watch this movie, but I'm gonna, like, figure out a way to do it where, like, I'm not sabotaging myself.
Okay.
So
cool.
I think I rented like a week or two after that. I rented again. So I rented it twice, which is great. A twice rental. So it's
what
like,
a
right,
scam.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you start the movie, you have to finish it within 48 hours.
You have 48 hours.
Yeah. Oh my God. So I didn't watch it like the night after. I was like,
I got a life.
Yeah, thank you. So I was like, all right, I missed my deadline. I'm not that pressed. So. So I watch it again. You
had the perfect day. You didn't eat.
I didn't eat.
You didn't have any responsibilities.
Right. I didn't wait until like 11 p.m. to watch it. And I think I did not. I might have restarted. I think I did restart it. So I restarted the movie, knowing what kind of happened in that beginning part. But I think I gotten past that. So that was cool. I wasn't super geeked on that intro because I'd already seen it. And then the movie proceeds to tiptoe in this slow, methodical plot line with not a lot of words and not a lot going on. And we get glimpses of Nicolas Cage's Longlegs character that shows up every so often, doing very weird actions and weird vocal performances and things of that nature. And so I was watching that, I'm taking it in, and then we get to, I think, the last section of the movie where, this is spoilers, obviously, like we mentioned, they actually figure out the killer is actually associated with the mom, the main character's mom.
Who she's written to in the movie and has been on the phone with.
Yeah, she's been speaking with this person. Mm-hmm. And so apparently her mom and this character, I guess it's like a demon or something like that. Again,
he's in a satanic cult.
He's in a satanic cult, and he's kind of, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, he's kind of possessed or something. Anyway,
who cares?
Yeah, exactly. It's like we figure out that they're in a team. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's interesting, actually, to do that, and then they kind of start breaking down, like, okay, the reason why they did that is because this character came to her and like almost killed the main character when she was a kid. And I think she might have repressed the memory or something. Or no, she didn't repress it. She remembers a little bit about it, but I don't think she puts together the pieces of what actually happened, and a lot of it was sheltered from her.
It's a lot worse than that.
Yeah, it's not, they didn't tell it well. I thought it was an interesting idea. And then, there's some more like entertaining, I guess more like darker stuff happens where, it's actually starts to turn into like a weird thriller actually at the end. And then the movie ends though. Yeah. And so yeah. So I watched it and I said, okay, great. Flip flop.
I'm hoping it's a flop because this is one of my least favorite movies I've seen.
Sorry to disappoint.
You liked it?
No, it's a flop.
Oh, okay.
It's an absolute flop. This movie tries so hard to be creepy. Mm-hmm. It tries so hard. This movie is the definition of try hard.
Okay.
Like, it wants to be some of the stuff that I used to watch, like in the mid 2000s, that were actually like weird and creepy.
It really wants to be Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, it's.
And I'm not just saying that because there's a female investigator. So
no.
The reason why I said it's much worse than that.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as the film, well, first of all, I want to say something.
Yeah, go.
What's emblematic of this film's flaws is an interviewer asked the director, I believe is who it was.
Sure.
Why is the character named Longlegs? We all have theories, but why is this main character, this evil character named Longlegs?
Mm-hmm.
And the director says, well, we just thought it sounded cool.
Again.
Oh, okay. So there's no reason for like why the name Longlegs is the main villain's name.
Right.
So that's right away that makes me go, okay, so they're doing stuff just because it's cool. There's not much thought put into this.
Mm-hmm. What did I just say?
So then stylistic points, any stylistic points that they earn for like the good intro, because
interesting intro.
First, I'd say less than half, but like the first chunk of the film is good. Well shot. great music.
You're waiting for it.
It builds really, really well. You get to know Harker, that's her name, and you go, oh, I really like this character. I hope she doesn't get hurt. Like, and her mom seems really weird, but like in a like post-traumatic stress disorder sort of way.
Yeah.
They've been through some trauma. As soon as the film introduces the metal balls as the main like supernatural element, that's when I say, like, when there was this guy who was like working on the metal balls for some reason that were inside the dolls' heads.
Yes.
And he goes, man, I was working too late last night. I thought I heard the metal ball talk about my ex-wife. And I said, what? This is like the worst dialogue I've ever heard.
What the fuck are we talking about?
And so for me, the film loses points for, I know you said that you felt it picked up and stuff in terms of the intensity, but
it didn't pick up. It just was,
more stuff was happening.
They got semi-interesting at the very end, like literally maybe 20 minutes before the movie ends, because they try to cram in all the stuff that you probably should have been slowly being fed throughout that middle part where I kept falling asleep.
Yeah.
You should have had those pieces instead of Nicolas Cage acting like a fucking maniac.
Right.
And like, again, I said hashtag try hard. This movie is try hard. It just trying to like be creepy, trying to be like weird, but instead of being weird in a good way, it's just weird in like a bad way.
It truly is. And the supernatural elements of the film actually like removes all sense of tension. Yeah. And it also doesn't make there's no internal logic to the film.
No.
So she like shoots a doll, the mom shoots a doll's head that had a marble in it or whatever, and then Harker like collapses and is like, ugh.
Right.
But then she's like still remembers everything when she wakes up, and there's no personality change to her.
Still alive.
She still seems to be the same person, have the same memories. It was just nothing. But, and also like, there's a scene where they show Longlegs going into a convenience store and interacting with a little kid, and it's actually not creepy at all. It's
it's just really
super
weird.
Cringe.
Yeah. Super cringe.
And there's a Facebook group for film memes that I follow, and they showed a screenshot of Nicolas Cage in the car screaming, Mommy, Daddy, I'm acting. This whole performance is bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's absolute bullshit.
It's completely carried by 100 pounds of prosthetic makeup bullshit.
And it's barely that good.
No,
it's not great.
No, he looks stupid. Like, the reason why the intro works when it's a flashback and his face is barely seen.
Right.
It cuts off before, like, the nose and the eyes, and the intro's good. But the film decides to, like, deflate all tension with the villain by showing him being a loser weirdo.
Yeah, like a weird...
with no real intensity. And to find out that he was living in the house with Harker and her mom, like in the attic, I think it was, making these dolls, and they were delivering dolls to people. I'm sorry, dude. Like, it's just a bad... It's such a... So you had mentioned there was talk. This film is really interesting because there will be people whose taste in horror I respect and who have recommended me great movies. And I go, these people, they're on lock for their taste. Like, I am excited to see this movie, but there's two people I'm thinking of who have recommended me great horror who like this movie. And then they saw it with friends. At least one of them saw it with their friends, and like, it was literally like an even split for like people who hated it and people who thought it was great. And I'm thinking, why is it so even? Like, why are there more people saying this sucks?
I think it is 50-50. Because remember I told you that before watching it, I was like, yeah, the movie's very divisive. Like, some people really like it, some people really hate it. And I believe a friend of mine didn't like it. And then I remembered in my mind thinking that he really did like it. But no, he's like, I didn't like that movie. I was like, oh, okay. I thought you liked it.
I do think as the years go by, you're going to have people who saw it in theaters and said that they liked it. They're going to slowly go back on that.
Yeah.
As it ages poorer and poorer. But yeah, as soon as literally I was the only person in the theater, and I was like, this is going to be amazing.
Oh, you were there.
I was primed for an amazing theater experience.
Yeah. So you saw it in theaters.
Yep, by myself. Jesus. One of my dreams is to see like a new release by myself.
Yeah, that's actually really dope.
And my car was being worked on, so like I had nothing else to do, so I went and saw a movie.
Sure.
And I was thinking, God, this could be like a really memorable film experience for me, seeing this by myself. And I don't know, I was pumped. And that first 30 minutes or so, I was like, this is awesome.
It's like, this is awesome. Interesting. This is very interesting.
The vibe is super cinematic and well acted. Nobody's giving like nobody who isn't Nick Cage is giving like a bad performance, but they're delivering off of a bad wooden script.
Yeah, the script is not good, and
like her mom being like, "Oh, I wish you wouldn't be in crime scary." Like, what does she say? Like, it's scary or it's bad or
it's not good.
I don't like you looking at scary things.
Yeah, weird shit like that.
Her mom was so bad. Like when she appears with the like outfit and reveals to be working for him. I don't know.
And I think that actress is actually a lot better than that role.
She is. Yeah.
I've seen her in other things and she's a lot better. That role, I feel like they forced her in a box because that character is so like one dimensional. And like she has to be like in this weird like anxiety, like always on her face and speaking with it, and like it never goes away or like shifts. It's just always like, I'm in fear. I'm in either fight or flight. I don't know. Like, and that's how the character speaks. I think Longlegs like killing himself.
Oh God.
I thought that scene was fine. It's another try-hardy scene, but like I thought, I don't know. I'm like reaching for straws at this point. I'm like, oh, okay, that was decent gore a little bit, but like, I've just seen so much better things that can do this so much, that have done this so much better. Just no.
For me, and we can move on after this, for me, what gives me suspense in a film like this, a crime procedural film, is wondering if maybe he is potentially aided by Satan or the devil or whatever. Right. This film comes out and says he is aided by the devil. He has supernatural powers, so nothing matters because he will get away with things even in death.
Right.
He has power due to his metal balls. You know what does metal balls better?
Don.
That's correct. You read my mind.
When you said metal balls, I immediately went to Don. Like,
my friend Akaroon.
Akaroon's got great metal golden balls.
Okay, man, he's careful.
That's true. I mean, I never experienced them myself, but just from what I've seen.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
So 2 flops on the board. Everyone.
How long is this episode? We may have an episode here.
It's only been 38 minutes. Okay. Yeah.
Well, it felt like forever when you were talking about Longlegs.
I know, truthfully. I fell asleep. I'm sure the crowd also fell asleep as well.
Gosh, I really don't like to trash movies, even Sonic 3. But
I'm just being honest. These are 2 things that we saw recently that we were trepidatious about, but I think we're open-minded.
Sonic 3 is better than Longlegs.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
I'm sure
shocker of the century. Like, I really do think it's like a better movie than Longlegs. Like, because at least it knows what it is. Like, Longlegs is a identity crisis wrapped in a enigma, and then deep fried in a bunch of, this is cool.
Yeah. Deep fried. Yeah. Anyway, I think I fell asleep twice. I had to rent the damn movie twice just to finish it so that I would say that I watched it.
You doubted yourself.
I'm like, man.
It was the film.
I keep falling asleep in the middle. Why?
Yeah.
Because nothing's going on.
It's because you didn't see the amazing scene where he harasses a preteen girl.
Dad!
When's your birthday? Dad, this guy's being weird.
And then he just leaves.
Yeah, there's no...
Great.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, because her birthday wasn't on whatever, the 3rd of the month.
Right. I guess I'm moving on.
Well, this sucks. And I guess he just likes the band... what band was it? T-Rex?
Oh, sure.
He just likes the band T-Rex for no reason. They just like have him quoting the lyrics just for no reason.
Thinking about this movie, I want to watch like one of the good examples of a movie that's like that and talk about it, because the Longlegs
style over substance. There's no substance to the film whatsoever.
No, absolutely not. And I think it doesn't execute.
Speaking of substance,
Mr. Substance.
The Substance. No, we haven't seen that movie.
Oh yes, I have not.
I need to see that, and I have faith that one's going to be good.
I hear a lot about it, so absolutely. But we got to talk about Mr. Substance or Mr. Morale.
Kenny.
Yeah. The Kenster. So this is February 8th, or excuse me, February 9th, I should say.
Yes.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Sunday. It's a Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Super Bowl just happened actually like an hour ago. I believe it was a killing from Philadelphia.
I think it's still going on, isn't it?
No, I think it's done now. It should be done.
I would love to see the Chiefs lose.
Well, I think they definitely did. There's no way they came back from that.
Well, you never know. I Googled Phoenix, so we have this flaming bird.
Thanks, Google. Thanks.
Well, to be fair, I did a vague search.
I know, but it should know what we're talking about.
Sorry about this.
I thought you meant the Phoenix bird.
Yeah.
Oh, they did get 20-some points.
They got some points.
But overall, the Philadelphia Eagles are victorious for the Super Bowl.
I don't care about sports, but I get really tired of the same team winning a contest.
Mr. Dynasty being the Chiefs. They didn't execute this, but aside from that,
who cares?
I'm not a big football guy. I'm a basketball guy, so I wasn't really there for the game. I was there, and I
wasn't there for Taylor Swift. However, I am curious to see how Taylor and Mr. Kelsey will last. If she's like going to lose her attraction to him with him being a loser now.
That would be hilarious.
Just like me.
Dropped him like a habit.
Yeah, no, obviously he's still a winner in life.
Of course.
But it's fun to imagine that she gets home with him and it's like, ugh.
You're such a disgusting human being.
You're a disgrace.
Imagine if Taylor was just like some evil villain now. She is not. I don't
she
think
is to some
that.
people. In their minds.
Yes, in their minds. I would say that.
I to be clear, Mr. Kelsey, you can come on the show. We'll talk. I don't really hate you. I get so sick of seeing that stuff pop up in my feed.
Yeah.
And I don't interact with it. Like, I'm not that guy you see on Facebook who's like, why is this in my feed? It's like,
flipping out.
Grandpa, you are commenting on it every time it's in your feed. You're feeding the algorithm.
Yes, you're feeding it so it comes back to you.
It's like, I comment on every Longlegs post. Why is this in my feed?
This movie sucks. Why?
Nicholas.
We're here to really speak about the main event, which is really the halftime show with Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. You know, Lamar is his middle name.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you're the Kenny Stan.
Yes.
I am the sort of Johnny come lately.
Yeah, but you since our old show, you'd gotten into some of the stuff that I was talking about. I think I was talking about a couple of albums that Kenny had done recently, and my favorite one, which was like To Pimp a Butterfly. And I know you dug into some of that and started to really, become a fan off of that.
GNX is one of my favorite albums of 2024.
Yeah, GNX was a late release last year from Kendrick after the battle with Drake.
Philosophically, the question of whether it would have gotten the same hype if it had gotten like a built-up release, I think that's an interesting question.
Yeah, instead of a surprise release.
Yeah, because it's more. I don't want to say it's lighter than his previous albums, but it is, I think, less
dense,
less weighty.
Yeah,
but I have fun with it. I love the beats and I love the just party vibe on there. I think it's so victorious feeling, which of course, since he beat Mr. Drake.
No, it's very victorious and it should be. And honestly, based on a lot of stuff that he's been mentioning, that album was an album just to be felt. Mm-hmm. It wasn't to, before that, he had already given us the Mr. Morale album, which is his therapy, diving deep within myself album. Mm-hmm. Very vulnerable album. Mm-hmm. And so he kind of wanted to go back to the underground, so he says, and have fun and be a lot harder raps, harder beats. Mm. And that's what he delivered. And I think he did a fantastic job delivering that. So we're here at the Super Bowl. He announced that he was going to do the Super Bowl. I don't know if you've been following the steps to getting to this point to the Super Bowl, but after, the news came out that Kendrick was doing the halftime show, Kendrick started suing people. I don't know if you knew that.
You mean Drake?
Yeah, sorry. Drake started suing people. Kendrick started suing people.
Dude, so I was totally trusting you, but I was like, why would he do this and why didn't I hear about this?
That's good.
And I said, I've heard about the Drake lawsuit.
Thank you.
Dude, I love the image of him like getting this career highlight and like everything's going right for him and he's like, I gotta start suing this.
He's just taking a dive.
He's gone nuts.
Like, he's gone insane. He won and now he's suing people.
He got too much power.
Yeah, too much power corrupts completely. Anyway.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's a Kenny line.
It was a Kenny bar.
Sorry. I'm saying Kenny too much. I hope it doesn't come off the wrong way. I've read Reddit posts where it's making fun of white Kendrick Lamar fans who call him Kenny.
That might have been like a thing when Damn came out and everyone started calling him Kenny because he called himself Kung Fu Kenny. But anyway, long bass thing. I think we're here. So, the lawsuit thing was happening. That might have been a play to get the song, the Not Like Us song, not to be played during the Super Bowl. So it was almost like a last ditch effort to be like, he can't do that song there because he's besmirched. What's the word? How do you say the word?
Besmirched?
Besmirching my name.
Yeah. Libel.
Slander. Yeah, slander. So he tried to go for the Hail Mary. Didn't work.
Very cowardly.
I mean, the man's been very uncouth for a lot of the battle.
Yeah. So I'm a Drake fan. I'm rooting for him.
You're rooting for him.
Dude, just wait. He's coming up with something.
Yeah, he's cooking up something perfectly.
One of his best disses is Kendrick just opened his mouth.
Yeah.
Gave him a Grammy.
Yeah, and then he got 5.
Yeah, so
good job.
Great job, Drake. You are bringing truth to power with
Thank
that
you.
one.
Yes, you're speaking things into existence, which is a problem that people do quite a bit. And,
it's true.
And need to...
It reminds me of King Goma. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Mr. Goma.
All right, go on. I'm sorry.
No, this is fun. I think Kendrick doing... So we got to this point. So now we're here at the Super Bowl. Everyone's talking about, is he going to do the Not Like Us record? He shouldn't be able to say it. He can't say the word.
NFL is strict about what artists can perform. They have to approve set lists like months in advance.
Right. And then like really close to the show, like a few days to maybe a week, we got news from like an outside source saying that the Super Bowl is not blocking him from saying anything that he wants to say. And so then we kind of got a good hint that he was going to he might perform the song. And then they started doing Super Bowl promos, like trailers for the Super Bowl with the Not Like Us song playing. And then now it started to become like, okay, all this teasing, this is definitely going to happen. Drake flies his ass to Australia for an international tour away from the U.S. I'm building the stage for you. So he's overseas right now and probably not watching the Super Bowl, but probably secretly is or was.
I think he was.
You know how people are. You can't, even if it's about you.
Like he signed into a hotel with a fake name.
Yes, thank you.
And he's making sure that they can't track what he's watching.
Yes, absolutely. He's definitely in there.
He's definitely watched the clip by now.
Yeah, he's definitely seen it. So anyway, so Kendrick's doing his performance, and I want to hear your overall thoughts. I think, and then we can kind of go into kind of what he did. But what was was it anticipated for you? Were you kind of knowing that it was a kind of a thing that he was going to be doing, and there was going to be a lot of energy behind it, or what were you coming into the halftime show like expecting? I think.
Yeah, so I definitely expected him to play Not Like Us. I think that's been his song for the past 12 months at least, where it's just like he brings it out as like a cherry on top of whatever he's doing. Like he did it 6 times at that part,
the pop out
that you were at.
Yep.
And I think it would be actually a huge oversight to not play it. He won a Grammy for it too. 2 Grammys, is that right?
No, he actually won 5
for that song.
Yeah,
I thought the Grammys were for other stuff. Wow, that one song.
He won 5 Grammys for that song.
So yeah, and I feel like part of Kendrick's story and how he got to the Super Bowl is getting into that rap battle. So for me, I never doubted that he would do it. And I had anxiety wondering if I was going to be wrong as I watched the performance unfold.
Sure.
So one thing that you may not know about the Super Bowl is that they don't pay the performers.
Yes.
And it's all for publicity. They say the publicity is so good that you don't need to get paid.
Right. Why would you need money?
It requires a ton of planning, and there's usually like gimmicks, like you have to have guests typically. You have to have multimedia staging that is like super complex. And Kendrick did some of that for sure, but he didn't do any of the weird like guests, like just SZA and Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam.
Amazing.
Which reminded me, of course, of his character in Django Unchained.
Yeah. It feels like that, right?
It feels like that. And him being the critical voice, telling Kendrick what he can and can't say, or this is America, he shouldn't act all, ghetto and ungrateful. So I was really excited, and I really obviously knew he would turn the TV off, TV off. I got the title wrong for a second, but I usually say TV off.
Yeah, TV off's great.
And to be clear, I think I want to make sure people know I don't actually root for Drake, and that was a joke earlier. Because I don't want that on my...
They're like, no, he said it in the show.
And I could just see in our Wikipedia, Michael's an avid Drake supporter.
Avid Drake fan.
He did listen to Take Care, and he said he really liked it.
Yeah, he enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the album, Sue Me.
Yeah, no, everyone...
Kendrick's going to sue me, because he's suing everybody.
Yeah, he's out he's like power hungry.
So I really thought it was a cool performance, man.
Yeah.
I had a hard time hearing him for a few of the first 3 numbers.
Yeah.
I'd say.
I don't think his mic was turned up loud enough.
No, it wasn't. And
it's hard to project when you're rapping.
So I'm going to say something that might make people a little angry.
No, let's hear it.
So Super Bowls are kind of renowned for either having really bad sound or very limited live sound.
Yeah.
And Prince's performance is fantastic. I would never argue that. But I never got 100% confirmation on this, but I've seen rumblings that only his vocal mic and his guitar were live at that event, and the band and all the music you hear was pre-recorded.
Okay.
And I always thought it was because of the rain, but as I've watched Super Bowl halftime shows, I noticed that there's a lot of elements that are not live.
Interesting.
And I think only Kendrick's mic was live.
I think so too.
And I don't think SZA's mic was live at all.
I don't think so, yeah.
And I know she's a great singer.
She is.
Great lyricist on a lot of her stuff too.
Yep.
But that was weird. That was weird to me that her mic wasn't live.
You noticed it, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, you are a sharp eye with that type of stuff, though.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
I like to think that I am, that I can tell if there's pitch correction too. And I'm not saying I'm always right, but I think that I have a better ear than most for this stuff.
Sure.
And so
I questioned that when I was watching the performance, because what I noticed was she was riffing her parts. So I was like, oh, maybe it is live.
Yeah.
And it just sounds like it sounds off, but that's not the original sound that the song sounds like. It sounds like she's doing something else. So I was like, so maybe it is live and they just put a filter over her mic.
Yeah.
But now that you mentioned that there's only a few mics that are on and they only allow so many things to be live, I could see her riffing on a pre-record and then performing it like that.
Yeah.
Still sounded great. I really actually liked her vocal runs and stuff that she was doing extra on her. I think All the Stars is the song that she really kind of went off on. And I was like, oh, that sounded really good. Good job. You know what I'm saying? So,
but I love the framing of it, the staging of it. What I mean by framing of it is Samuel L. Jackson was a funny choice, and it makes sense.
Yeah, Uncle Sam.
And the song choices were great, and TV Off, of course, was awesome.
Yeah.
Not like us, when the whole crowd sang a minor or A minor, excuse me. That's the culpability. He can defend it by saying, no, I'm saying the chord A minor.
Yeah, the chord A minor.
So as long as he doesn't ever say a minor, then he's fine.
Which is perfect.
But I thought it was cool, man. I didn't think it was like as good as my friend Prince's.
No.
Not fair to compare.
No, I think for me, I really liked the performance, and I thought he did a great job. And then what I've really come away with after watching all of it is that was a very Kendrick Lamar performance. And you can't, I think when the hip hop space has been waiting with bated breath to see what he was going to do, how he was going to do it. I think we kind of built it up to be really, 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 really big. But you got to remember, he's only got like 13 minutes. Like, he doesn't have enough time. And what he's going to showcase is it has to be very intentional for him. And he's a very intentional guy.
Yep.
And so what Kendrick decided to utilize with his time is to tell a story. Because he actually mentioned this in one of the promo video, or in an interview before the halftime show, not the day of, but a few days before the halftime show. They asked him, what can we expect from the performance? And he said, storytelling. So I already went into my space of saying, okay, so this is going to be storytelling. How's he going to storytell? With all the thoughts of saying, like, everyone saying, like, oh, he's got to perform all right. And all these big songs that everyone loves. He's got to perform those. Like, that'll get the crowd crazy. And so when that didn't happen, like, as far as, like, he performed, like, some Damn songs, too, which are kind of the bigger, poppier songs. But he didn't do, like, it wasn't Kendrick's greatest hits.
No.
This was, I'm giving you a message. And I'm talking to one, that was the crazy part. The performance was really like, black man in America, I want to do what I want to do. And then I'm also talking to you.
Yeah.
Pointing the finger at you know who.
Yeah.
And he actually was talking to him during the performance. It's crazy. Yeah. And he just wanted that to be very, very clear. And it was amazing. And he executed, when you look at it from that lens, he really executed properly. Before we started the show, I was looking at the stage and the performances and the way the set was designed for the field. Because at the end of the performance, it actually says game over. Yeah. And we were like, that
was cool.
Yeah, that was dope. And that was like reference to like, this whole beef game war being over. The kid Kendrick is diabolical because this beef kind of started off of a song that Drake and J. Cole did called First Person Shooter. And in the song, they hype up themselves up as being bigger than the Super Bowl. Oh, and this motherfucker Kendrick Lamar.
So he really
bigger than the Super Bowl, huh?
Yeah. So he really has lost now. Drake has.
Oh, yeah.
I know I tried to play devil's advocate a few weeks ago, and I was like, is anyone saying that he didn't lose? And I tried to be a voice for the devil, like Longlegs.
Literally like Longlegs, yes.
My name's Longlegs. Huge shout out to the dancers, by the way.
Great dancers.
Yeah, they helped with the spectacle aspect. And I was expecting more of the hits. Yeah. And so I wasn't disappointed by that because I'm like, let's see what he's doing. And I'm going to rewatch it. And
rewatch it.
I'm on one watch. You're on two. Multiple.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but I would say that it's definitely good.
Yeah. And I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Yeah. So
it was my idea to talk about it because I'm
smart.
We got to talk about this.
I'm glad that you said that. And what I will say is that this is recording. This is day of recording, day of thoughts. I guarantee you, tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday, and through this next week, we are going to hear complaints about the performance not being as good as they thought it was going to be, not being the biggest. He didn't do all the hits. Yeah. Where was all right? Why didn't he talk about what's happening from a political standpoint?
Yeah, his responsibility as a black man to talk about.
Why didn't we see this? So, people that are listening to the show, I'm aware that this is going to come. Not surprised by it at all. If you really sit and, like I said, if you sit and listen to what we're saying and listen and watch the performance and understand that he wanted to deliver a very specific, intentional message and did not want to be bogged down by other responsibilities, wanted to be very clear he did what he needed to do.
To do this while President Trump was allegedly in the stadium is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I wonder what he thought. I'm sure he went to take a shit.
Yeah, I'm sure he's like, I'm going to go.
My theory is that he's not even there. That's my theory.
I'm sure he wasn't.
That's my game theory.
He did like one of those pop-ups where you like wave and then like leave.
Yeah.
That type of shit.
Yeah. Or that he never was there. That's my
it's like
conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I could see that, like a green screen behind him.
Because that's what dictators do, you know. Yeah, not saying he's a dictator, of course. I mean,
no, never say that.
He's only doing more executive orders than I've ever heard of. But and it doesn't make him look pathetic or
weak or
cowardly.
No, not at all.
To be like yelling, "I decree that I shall ban paper straws as the new leading straw.
We're going back to plastic."
Plastic, yes. No, it's all good, man. You're a loser. But anyway, when are we going to have Kendrick beef with Trump? Because
it's just beneath.
He would win. He would win so bad.
It's just beneath him. I think it's a rewatch. Rewatch it a couple times.
With headphones. I would say Kendrick is one of my favorite headphone artists where I have my high quality cans over my ears and I can hear all the production decisions and his all of the noises he makes along with and the rhythmic choices he makes.
Yes.
So,
and those very intentional.
I thought it was great. I thought that it'll be interesting to see how it ages. And to keep this in mind, I've been watching the Super Bowl halftime show pretty much every year. I think I skipped Katy Perry.
Yeah.
But I think the reaction is always like really intensely negative. So I don't want you to get too discouraged if you see too much negativity because it's the loudest or it's the most... it's a huge event, so you're going to have lower common denominator audience watching your favorite artist.
Yeah.
And it can be tough to see people like willingly missing the point.
Yeah. And there's a lot of subtext in that performance that you need to rewatch it. Like I only noticed the set design, which was an X, a square, a circle, and a triangle. These are all PlayStation buttons.
Yeah, you did it right before we recorded.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is all a game."
This is all a game.
And the battle, it's a game, and he won, and game over. It's all connected. It's another thing to dissect from Kendrick Lamar. Let's just say that. Because YouTube's a big fan of dissecting what Kendrick Lamar says. This is a performance now where you need to dissect all the things that were in there.
And what a treat to have a Super Bowl halftime show that can grow on you rather than...
Now, isn't that very Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah, it is. It is. And I want to tell you that after the performance, I said to my mom, because I watched it with my mom, I said to her, Drake must have been saying, I gotta text Millie. Oh wait, she's over 18 now.
Did you watch the performance?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, he asked people, did you watch it? It was terrible. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. It was horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible. I hated when the crowd sang Minor. I mean, I didn't see it.
I didn't see it, though. I didn't watch it.
I only heard about it from one of my, B words.
B word.
He would say B words.
Yeah, he would. Just to cover it up.
Embarrassing.
Oh, man.
You ever watch that clip where he says, embarrassing?
Who, Drake does?
Yeah, I sent it to you, I think.
Oh.
He's with some friends, and I think someone accidentally pulls up something on their phone they shouldn't, and he goes, embarrassing.
That is very funny.
It was before the beef, so nobody took him down for it.
Oh, okay. That's very funny. Now, that's par for him.
Now there's that saying, if you come at the king, you best not miss, and... He's not the king anymore.
Somebody missed.
Someone, I think maybe it'll be me, who comes at him and says, hey man, when you said embarrassing and that falsetto, that silky falsetto, that was really funny.
Yeah, no, I like that.
You're kind of a doober.
A little bit of a doober. Kendrick the victor. A fantastic performance. I think this is one to dissect, another thing to dissect.
And another thing that happens after these performances is their iTunes sales and their Spotify numbers go way up.
Yeah, so. GNX is going to be boosted.
So if you could buy stock in an artist, your Kenny stocks would be a bull market right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. So. GNX is going to hit the charts again. Him and SZA are going on tour after this.
I saw that.
Everything's set. He set the table.
If I'm wrong about SZA's mic, then I accept whatever punishment the audience wants to give me.
I think you're right, though. I believe it to be true too.
I believe it, but with headphones, maybe I'll hear one breath that isn't fake.
Should we come back
We'll do an
dissect?
apology.
No, we'll apologize. Should we come back and dissect the show? If there's something to dissect, it would take basically the YouTube route and go through all the things that we saw that and its reference and what it means and all that other stuff. We don't have to, but I'm thinking of it now because there's a lot of things that are in there that can be explained, but I'd
Do
have
a
to
react video.
Yeah, it's basically reacting, like breaking down like all the symbolisms because there's a lot of symbolisms.
I think you would be better for that than me. I don't know. I just know what sounds good.
You are the ear.
It sounds good to my ear.
You are the ear.
I just keep saying, who is this?
Who is this K Lemire?
Well, remember there was that one episode, I think it was Dadman, where I said Ken Drake. I said, who is this Ken Drake?
Yeah, Ken Drake.
Ken Drake guy.
You merged them.
I only see one of them. Okay. Now I'm super racist.
I only see one of them.
I'm super racist.
I've only seen one of them there.
Yeah. So anyway. Well, this will be a fun episode for me to edit because I definitely got to edit some stuff.
Oh yeah, there's some fun stuff in there. Some cutting that needs to be done, but that's great.
There's some stuff.
There's some hilarious.
I could get in trouble with our faithful president.
Yeah. Some FCC related things. Yeah, I'm sure.
He loves us.
He loves us. Loves that show. He's a nerd. Complete nerd. T-Dog.
Okay.
Anyway.
We gotta occasionally cater to him and like pretend to be his friend, and then because that's the thing. If you make him believe that you like him, he'll say, "Yeah, all right." He'll
pardon you.
Akira Slide actually pretty good.
Pretty good podcast. I've listened to it a few times.
They're not Bacchus. So
they don't like China.
Let's see what they don't like China. How much have we? Part of me wonders if this should be just the episode.
It could. It's an hour.
Yeah, I think this could be an episode.
Yeah, we could. We could. You're right.
Yeah, we could have this just be the first non-anime episode of Akira Slide Podcast.
I like it.
Although
It's our normie episode.
Sonic is kind of an anime.
I mean, if you really read behind the
Kaso.
Yeah.
He says Kaso in the Japanese version. You know, Sonic is from Japan. I don't know if you knew that.
Is he?
Yeah, but he's not appreciated in Japan. His movie flopped there, Sonic 3. And his games don't really do that well.
What is Japan's thing with... do they have a thing against Sega? Like, Sega's...
I think Sega was made... Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, you're good. I think... I really didn't have much more besides to say, like... Sega's had a rough go. Like, they were doing stuff for a while, and I think maybe they catered too much to America or something, and then just they never... what's the system? The Dreamcast didn't make it, and it's a fantastic system. Didn't make it over there even. Like,
if you want my opinion, I think that number one, Sega was known in Japan as like an arcade game manufacturer, so you would have experience Sega games at the arcade a lot of the time.
Sure,
I think Sega, their biggest issue was like disorganization. They had great ideas, big ideas, but they had like an American division of game development. They had a Japanese division of game development. Sonic CD and Sonic 2 were being worked on at the same time by separate teams. They had to cancel several Sonic games. Some were released in Japan, some weren't. Disorganization. And then I don't know much about non-Sonic properties, but I did read Electronic Gaming Monthly a lot as a kid. And I think that they just like didn't have quite a good marketing team as opposed to Nintendo, who say what you will about them, but they can market the hell out of that Mario guy.
They are a fantastic marketing team. Sega's marketing was probably peak in the 90s.
The victory that Sonic had over Mario in the United States was because they were... I don't like it, but they were smart enough to redesign Sonic to be edgier.
Way cooler.
Yeah.
He's way cooler than a
It worked in the 90s than some sort of heavy-set plumber.
Some rotund
addicted to
Italian man.
Addicted to fun guy.
Yeah, exactly. Tripping off.
He's tripping. He's not even getting bigger. He just feels bigger.
No, he's like, yo,
I'm bigger,
I'm
man.
Huge.
Anyway, I think let's do it. Let's have this be the first no anime.
Yeah. Normie app.
This is for the normies.
This will be the app that you can share to your non-nerd friends. Like, hey, you should check out our pod.
Yeah. They talk about cool things. They talk about Nicolas Cage. They talk about Sonic.
Keanu Reeves.
Oh, yeah. We'll just dance around the subjects of this episode.
Absolutely.
Kenny.
Yep. Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. Drake was in there.
Drake was in there.
Yeah. Super Bowl was in there. It's big.
They did a little Trump bashing.
Yeah. The Trump's in there, too.
They did a little trolling.
This is our pop album.
This is our halftime show.
This is a halftime show.
It's still too long to be a halftime show. We got to cut a lot. But the 13-minute version of this episode is just fire.
What would this episode sound like in 13 minutes?
We'll do an edit.
I would love to hear this episode in 13 minutes.
We'll do a social media challenge. A super social media challenge. Mm-hmm. If a post we make gets, let's say, 25 likes, because we're a small Instagram page.
Yeah.
If we get 5 reviews on Apple Podcasts, we'll do a 13-minute version of this episode. And yes. I won't spoil if that involves... No, it won't. We won't just speed up our voices. That would be a cheat.
That's corny.
It'll be a genuine edit where we have to have a Sonic discussion. You talking about Longlegs. I just fell asleep. Yep. Then Kenny.
Halftime show.
Kendrick Lamar.
That's great. I like that. That's cool. A great idea.
So, guys, if you get 5 reviews on Apple Podcasts, and let's make them 5 stars, please. Come on, guys. 1 star. I love Drake.
Yes, thank you. It's a bunch of Drake stans with 1-star reviews, but we end up getting 20 or 30.
I'd listen to a podcast that had 1 star.
Actually, it'd be very interesting to listen to. Yeah, you're right.
All right.
I would try it.
Well, thank you for listening. Next week, we're going to talk about anime again. Mm-hmm. We love anime.
We do. We got to get back to our nuts and bolts. We got to get back to our bread and butter.
Mm-hmm. But until then, you're going to have to get on the bike with me and Shadow and Jallah.
Yep.
In that order.
On a tandem bike.
No, I was going for a motorcycle, the Akira Slide.
Oh, I like that.
Because Shadow did do the Akira Slide in this movie.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. He does it while sliding up a building. It's a good shot,
one.
Honestly. Yeah. And he says, "This reminds me of my favorite podcast." And then Sonic says, I love my dad.
I love being a family man.
I love my dad, Donut Lord. And then
Lord.
Shadow says, "Well, my only friend she got shot."
He cries.
Hey, he's sad. He's still sliding.
He's sliding while he's
crying. Listen, man, there's nothing wrong with crying while you're sliding on a motorcycle.
That's true. That's where the true tears come.
More men should do it. It's positive masculinity.
That's true. That's true.
All right. We'll see you next week with another episode of the Akira Slide Podcast. Same pod time, same slide channel.
Adios, my friends.
Goodbye.